Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 starts right now.
A major announcement from the White House that could change global relations.
We've been following this for you over the last couple of hours. The president now saying he is open to talks with North Korea. An announcement coming tonight saying the president has accepted an invitation to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. You're looking live at the White House right now. A South Korean national security advisor made that announcement outside the White House this evening, saying Trump agreed that the meeting would happen by May. The advisor also credited Trump's leadership and strong U.S. pressure in allowing this moment to happen. In a statement, the White House press secretary Sarah Sanders saying that meeting will happen at a place and time to be determined.
And tonight we now know what teachers are demanding from lawmakers if they want schools across the state to stay in session. This is a live look at the state capitol right now. This is where legislators will have to come up with a plan by April 1st to avoid a teacher walkout. Oklahoma's largest teachers organization is outlining its demands today. The plan includes significant pay raises for teachers and support staff and the restoration of funding cuts. Now here's a breakdown of the OEA's $940 million proposal. Let's put it up right here, a $10,000 teacher pay raise with $6,000 up front. Also a $5,000 raise for full-time support professionals with $2,500 up front and $200 million to restore public school funding. Also, the association is calling for state employee raises and improved health care funding.
Today, we're putting lawmakers on notice. If by April 1st they have been unable to meet the terms we've laid out, then on April 2nd, the Oklahoma Education Association calls on every teacher, support professional, administrator to walk out of their schoolhouse and head to the State House.
Priest says lawmakers can come up with the funding by restoring that gross production tax to 7%, reforming the state's income tax structure, and raising the cigarette tax. Over the next month, the OAA will be rolling out a pledge card drive, hosting community town hall meetings, and backing school board resolution. Fox 25's Caroline Vandergriff is live at the state capitol right now with more on what lawmakers think about this demand.
Well, mixed reaction here to that proposal and definitely some finger pointing when it comes to the possibility of a walkout. But one thing's for sure, the clock is ticking for lawmakers to come together and take action. Oklahoma teachers are turning up the heat on their elected officials.
We just want to bring support to our kids and to our parents and have them call our legislatures.
If lawmakers don't come up with a way to fund teacher pay raises and restore funding cuts, schools could shut down. House Speaker Charles McCall says the Republican caucus has tried to pass numerous teacher pay raise bills in the past year, but the Democrats have failed to support their measures. He said in a statement, at some point the House Democrats' votes have to match their rhetoric.
Yeah, it's absolutely frustrating because we've seen package after package been put up for a vote that has disproportionately affected middle-class working Oklahomans and hasn't asked the oil and gas industry or those who are making more to pay their fair shares.
House Democrats believe a 5% gross production tax has to be included in any revenue package to create the money for teacher pay raises. Teachers want a $10,000 pay raise over the next 3 years.
I think what the teachers have asked for is totally realistic. It's necessary to stop the bleeding in education and to restore some of the cuts that have taken place over the last 10 years under Republican leadership.
Some Republicans aren't sure it will be possible to meet those demands.
We have got to broaden the dialogue about where some of this money has gone.
Representative Todd Russ is the chair of the Education Budget Committee. He says the real problem is how local districts are managing their funds.
Have they got some spending problems? I believe they do. Have they got some priorities out of line? I certainly believe they do.
But federal data shows the state ranks significantly below the national average for spending per student.
The reason we would walk out is to give our kids a better education because that's what they deserve.
Now, there is one thing all lawmakers seem to agree on. No one wants to see a teacher walkout. Both Democrats and Republicans know that a school shutdown would have major consequences on Oklahoma's students and parents, and it could even jeopardize federal funding. Mike?
Caroline, thank you. House Speaker McCall says that there will be ongoing discussions in the coming weeks on how lawmakers can find more revenue to help teachers.
In just the last couple of hours, Norman police releasing a detailed timeline of the days leading up to an Amber Alert and a tragic ending to that search. The Amber Alert is called off after a 7-month-old baby was found dead. Victor Minjarez is in jail tonight. Norman police saying the reason the Amber Alert was issued so late is because they have to have reason to believe the child may be in danger. So here is a look at that timeline. Now, Norman police began investigating February 19th when officers say Minjarez attacked Jody's mother and left with him. Now, the next day, detectives told the victim to obtain a victim protective order, which she was given 3 days later. And then on February 28th, police say Minjarez sent text messages saying the mother would never see the baby again. Now, on March 1st, detectives requested temporary emergency custody go to the mother, but the Cleveland County District Attorney's Office declined it. Then on March 6th, police put out a release asking for public health, and then that Amber Alert yesterday before both Minjarez and the baby's body were found. Now, according to the affidavit, Minjarez told officers the baby died while laying next to a heater with him. Minjarez said he put the body in a blanket, then put that inside 2 trash bags and placed it in the trash can outside. A medical examiner's report says the baby died from blunt force trauma. Now, Minjarez is in the Oklahoma County Jail on complaints of first-degree murder and desecrating a human corpse.
Today in southwest Oklahoma, the Cotton County Courthouse evacuated after a military round was brought into the sheriff's department. According to the sheriff, a farmer found the round in his pasture and he brought it to the department. That farmer handed the round to a deputy and then just walked away. That deputy placed the round in the grass outside the courthouse while crews investigated.
Good evening, everyone. We always have 2 big concerns as we head into spring: severe weather and fire weather. Fire weather between now and next week. Only 2 days we have to be concerned about. That's Friday and Sunday, and this is mostly for western Oklahoma, but this could change as far as severe weather is concerned. Only 1 day we have to be worried about. That'll be on Saturday, and that's mostly for southeast Oklahoma, and I do not think that will change at all. Nice and quiet tonight. We're looking live all across Oklahoma City. This is the Air Comfort Solutions WeatherBug Network. It's very cool right now, and it gets a little chilly tonight, staying breezy, down to 46 in Oklahoma City. We have a new drought situation, some good news and some bad news on that thing. Weekend severe risk. Going to talk a lot more about this with the timing and main threats coming up in just a few minutes.
Oklahoma City Police need your help tonight. They have put up several photos hoping you can help them catch the man behind a metro prostitution ring. You are looking right now at the Oklahoma City Police Department's Facebook page where they posted about it just hours ago. Arrest warrants have been issued for 2 people believed to be part of a human trafficking ring. And according to court documents, the 2 have been approaching Edmond High School students attempting to recruit prostitutes. Fox 25's Jennifer Falsetti is live now in Edmond. Jennifer.
Yeah, Wendy, right now I'm at Edmond Santa Fe High School. This is one of the places listed on the court documents obtained by Fox 25 today as a place where the 2 would visit, trying to recruit people for their prostitution ring.
Jermaine Coulter is no stranger to Oklahoma County law enforcement. He's been arrested in Oklahoma City 35 times with a lengthy criminal history dating back more than 20 years. He was just released from prison on a racketeering charge, and now a warrant has been issued for his arrest. According to court documents, he's been running a prostitution ring in the metro, targeting students at Edmond Santa Fe High School. He, along with his business partner, Elizabeth Andrade, are wanted by police.
Later on, investigators were able to arrest Elizabeth Andrade for 1 count of prostitution. That investigation actually led investigators to develop further evidence in reference to human trafficking.
Investigators say Coulter had at least 2 Edmond High School students working for him as prostitutes, and according to court documents, was actively recruiting teenagers from Edmond, promising money and drugs. Police were able to track the 2 down as part of an undercover investigation, and were able to recover text messages between the 2. A spokesperson for Edmond Public Schools tells Fox 25 in a statement the district had no idea students were being targeted until news outlets like Fox 25 reached out for comment. They go on to say, quote,
Edmond Public Schools was unaware of an OCPD investigation into allegations of human trafficking involving students at Edmond Santa Fe High School. The school resource officer was contacted on March 1st to assist Oklahoma City Police with an investigation involving the identification of a photo of a female student. Oklahoma City Police provided us these photos. They are the vehicles the suspects could be driving and were spotted at a Metro hotel. And Oklahoma City Police provided the description, too, and the makes and models of those 3 vehicles that the two could possibly be driving in right now. Those are listed on the side of your screen. All 3 have Oklahoma tags. If you know anything or see anything, you should call 911 immediately. Mike and Wendy.
Jennifer, thank you. A scary situation today at a Metro high school after a gun was found in a backpack. I went ahead and pulled up the Oklahoma City Public Schools Twitter account, and as you can see, they kept parents updated all day long. A 16-year-old is in custody right now. Police say that he brought a gun to U.S. Grant High School, where he used to attend. The principal at the high school says a gym teacher noticed the boy shouldn't have been at the school and brought him to the school resource officer. The assistant principal then searched the boy. When he took off his backpack, the boy ran from the school. The gun was found during a search of that backpack. The school was put on lockdown and then later locked out, where parents could pick up their children.
We don't know the student's intent. At this time, we haven't noticed that there were any social media threats or any threats directed at particular staff or students, so we don't know why he had a weapon at school.
Oklahoma City Police arrested the boy just a few hours ago. He now faces 2 felony warrants.
Today in Washington, President Trump signing tariffs that international allies and Hill Republicans have warned against. This is a live look at Washington right now. Those tariffs will go into effect in 15 days, adding 25% to the cost of U.S. steel imports and 10% to aluminum. Trump said the tariffs won't immediately include Canada or Mexico pending NAFTA negotiations and indicated other flexibility. The president's idea is to punish countries like China, which have flooded the global market with less expensive materials, and boost U.S. manufacturers. And we've got your back. I found this graph which shows you which states will be most impacted. It shows the share of steel and aluminum from total state imports in 2017, and you can see Oklahoma sitting about in the middle with 1.6%. Louisiana, one of the largest importers, relies on steel and aluminum imports to support its oil and gas industries.
Oklahoma City may be home to a holding facility for ICE. The plan to keep the illegal immigration in check that has some communities nervous about public safety.
What is juuling and are your kids doing it? We'll explain coming up.
New at 9, we are learning about plans for a federal detention facility here in Oklahoma City for immigration enforcement. The Office of Enforcement and Removal Operations, part of ICE, is behind that plan. Documents just submitted to the city say the office would have interview rooms and space for about 65 investigators. According to city documents posted by the Oklahoman, Enforcement and Removal Operations intends to occupy renovated space in a building near Meridian and I-40. The agency's website says they identify, arrest, and remove aliens who present a danger to national security or are a risk to public safety.
There's a new way for kids to get a buzz, and they don't even have to hide it.
It is called juuling, and as Fox 25's Phil Cross tells us, the device is a breakthrough in e-cigarette technology that's become a double-edged sword for those fighting smoking in Oklahoma.
There's no mistaking someone who smokes or vapes, but a new device is smaller than ever before and more effective than ever at delivering the addictive drug nicotine. Now schools and health officials are trying to tackle this latest trend before it hooks a new generation.
Bye guys. Have a good afternoon.
At Cheyenne Middle School in Edmond, Principal Michelle Grinsteiner works to stay on top of anything that could impact her students.
I'm kind of looking for things that may catch my eye in advertisements to kind of know what's in the know or what might catch another student's eye.
Grinsteiner was monitoring social media trends when she saw this. It's called Juul, and it's the newest e-cigarette. Edmond Public Schools say they're starting to see kids with these in grades as young as middle school.
The nicotine level in there could be a pack equal to the pack of a cigarette. Pack of cigarettes is very detrimental to the student health.
Grinsteiner is getting in front of juuling by sending a warning to parents and teachers about what to look out for. You see, Juuls look like USB drives. In fact, the charger plugs into a USB port, and the Oklahoma Tobacco Research Center just published its own findings about juuling in middle and high schools.
We're seeing that they like the nicotine buzz that you get from the product. We're also seeing that since it looks like a thumb drive, it's very easy to hide from parents and teachers. It doesn't create a big cloud of smoke.
Dr. Elise Stevens studied Juul and says it is the most effective e-cigarette on the market and delivers nicotine almost the same as a combustible cigarette, which makes them an attractive option for people looking to stop smoking.
It's a tough balance to strike. So what we do know about e-cigarettes is that right now they're less harmful than combustible cigarettes. However, research is still going on right now to see what the long-term effects of e-cigarettes are.
Stevens says typical teen use of Juul involves one person actually owning the device and others only purchasing the pods, those flavored nicotine packs that plug into the device. You do have to be 18 to buy any of it. The Juul website goes even further. It begins with a screen where a potential buyer has to agree to be age verified to prove they are over 21, and the company says they do not market to children. But history shows age restrictions do not always stop kids from getting their hands on nicotine.
This is the first e-cigarette that can deliver it at such high power nicotine without as much wattage.
Stevens says the job of researchers and regulators is to determine where the line should be drawn in making e-cigarettes and their plethora of flavors and forms available. Because while one could argue fruity flavors attract kids, you could equally argue the flavors make quitting traditional cigarettes more appealing for smokers. Ultimately, the best advice for anyone wanting to stop kids from picking up a Juul: education.
I just think that as educators and as administrators that we're always trying to stay on top of what may be the next trend or enticement with kids, and I think the more we know, the better, and then we're able to guide our students in the right direction.
The Juul's popularity has taken off in the past few weeks, and the Tobacco Research Center said some retailers are even having a hard time keeping it in stock. But it's impossible to know right now if that is due to people wanting to wean themselves off traditional cigarettes or if it's kids who may be starting a powerful addiction to nicotine. Phil Cross, Fox 25 News.
In a statement, the makers of Juul say their mission is to help adult smokers stop smoking combustible cigarettes.
Now, they also say that they're taking active steps to keep the product out of the hands of kids. This includes working with law enforcement and education leaders all across the country. We put their entire statement on our website. You can read it in its entirety at okcfox.com.
Prom season is upon us, which means dress shopping, of course.
But we all know those dresses can be pricey. Coming up, Fox 25 sits down with a local woman who's making it her mission to make sure every girl has a dress they love.
A change in the way people save money and pay off debt. Fox 25 Consumer Watch has got your back with how to have the best of both.
Experts say in order to build an emergency savings, you should treat it like a bill. That tip seems to be working for many people.
Yeah, a shift in the way Americans handle money means more stable savings accounts. Fox 25's Maria Garcia has got your back with how more people are paying down debt and building a savings. This is tonight's Consumer Watch.
The numbers keep going up. Now 58% of Americans say they have more money in savings than they do in credit card debt. There are still Americans who report being only one unexpected emergency away from being in a financial crisis. Bankrate has conducted the survey for the last several years, with 58% of Americans now reporting they have more in savings than they do in credit card debt. That's up from 52% in 2017 and 2016. The average U.S. citizen owes $5,839 in credit card debt, according to Bankrate, so a higher amount of savings is a major step forward. Still, personal finance experts tell Fox 25 Consumer Watch that once Americans have a savings crash pad, they need to focus on paying down their debt instead of treading water in an attempt to keep saving money.
Priorities for different generations are part of what is changing these numbers. Bankrate's data shows Gen Xers and baby boomers are more likely to focus on debt payoff, while millennials are laser focused on building an emergency savings fund. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch.
If you are trying to pay off debt faster, there are debt payoff calculators online that can help you decide on the right payment. Fox 25 Consumer Watch has a link set up for you on okcfox.com. Well, tonight we are learning more about a local band teacher who is now behind bars, what police say he did that led to his arrest.
And dramatic new video of an ambulance crash in Oklahoma City. We've got your back with what EMTs are now asking you to do to avoid this dangerous situation in the future.